Okay, I think I'm live now. I don't know what time it is. It's, yeah, just about 15 seconds before I'm supposed to be live. And I'm here at Starbucks again. If you are joining me live, if you would just leave a comment that you can hear me okay, because I'm using a new microphone from what I've been using before. I was using the earphones that come with my laptop, but now I'm using the, it's supposed to be a better microphone, noise cancellation. So hopefully you don't get any noise from the Starbucks. You see where I am here? Yeah. Beautiful surroundings here, nice and quiet. Not too many people here on a Friday night. Why would anybody be here on Friday night? Oh boy. So I'm going to switch over to the comments and we'll see if anybody is here. And if you would, if you can hear me, please comment in the and let me know that I'm not just talking to myself. Otherwise, I'll change to my other. I do have my other headset here just as a standby in case this one. So I always need a couple of minutes to get warmed up, and this is live stream, so waiting for a few people to join. I'm now broadcasting in India, Forex Traders on Facebook, and Bahrain, Forex Traders on Facebook, and also on my YouTube channel. So if you are joining or if you're watching this as a recording, that is my logo there in the upper right hand corner. Yeah, rickrayfx. So that's my website you can go to, rickrayfx.com, if you want to find out more about Forex trading. Or there's a place there where you can contact me with the built-in email app. And then you also have my QR code there, which is for my official line group. And you can join that group. It's absolutely free. That's where I post my weekly analysis. And sometimes during the week, I will post an occasional trade setup and sometimes post the news as well. So there's a few hundred people in that group, and it's absolutely free. You're welcome to join. Just click the QR code, and there you go. No obligation. Okay. So we could go right to the screen, but before I do that, before I get into the chart, what I'm going to do today is I want to look at the pound New Zealand. Is one of my favorite pairs. If you've followed me at all, you know that I love to trade the pound New Zealand. It moves more than any currency pair in Forex. Sometimes it can move 300 pips in one day. And it's a very good trending pair. It goes for a long time. When it's on a trend, it really does last a long time. It's a really good pair to trade. So I haven't been trading it recently because it's reached a high that it hasn't seen for about 3 years. But today I did really broke down the analysis, and I wanted to share that with you today and go over it. Some of you might be interested. I know some of you also trade the pound New Zealand, and we'll just have a look at that and break it down. But before I go to that, let me Still don't have any comments. I'm going to go back to the comments there. And here we are on the chart. Okay, and you see my logo there for automated trading. I do have a dedicated website for the automated trading app, and that is prosperityrisingea.com. Prosperityrisingea.com. And that logo will pop up again if you didn't get the information in about 2 or 3 minutes. So let me move over to the chart here. We're looking on the daily chart, and this is the pound New Zealand on the daily chart. Okay, and it looks like it has just it was starting a nice trend. If we go back a few days, it had a trend going here. This is going back several weeks. Had a nice trend going up, and then it looked like it was going to break that trend. It looked like the trend was done, and they were going to start going down. But it went up and found resistance at the trend line, fell down again, but then it took off, and we see we've got another big trend running here. And I just don't know what happened last week, but it just took off of this thing like it was on an aircraft carrier. And it just went off like a ballistic missile. And this is just crazy. How can you catch this thing if you want to buy? Where's a good place to get a trade? Well, that's what we're going to look at in this analysis today to show you. It's likely, it's possible that the pound New Zealand can continue quite a bit higher, actually. I'll show you that on the chart. Let me go to the weekly chart, and we go back here, and we see where it is now. This week and the last week, two huge bullish candles. Okay, and so I had this resistance line marked here. This is where it was 3 years ago. If we go back and back and back to where was it? Yeah, right in here, about April of 2020. Now it had some pin bars that broke above that, but this was the resistance zone back in 2020. Okay, so I thought, well, maybe it's going to fizzle out. So I was really hesitant to buy here, right in this zone here. And then you got these two massive candles. It's just made a big, huge move up. So the question is, is it going to fall down from there, or is it going to go higher? Because now it's, we had 1 week here where it got a big pin bar, then came back down. It didn't last. Okay, it didn't last at all. 1 week, and then it's back down. So is that what's going to happen here? But here we've got 2 weeks already, and we just wonder, can it go any higher? So I'm going to go back and check. No comments, so I guess everybody's hearing me okay. I hope so. If you can hear me okay, just comment in the YouTube or in the Facebook and let me know. I'm watching the comments here, checking on them. So let's just see, can this thing go any further up? Well, let's go back to the monthly chart, and let's see what we've got here. This is where we are now, guys. Let me get rid of this down here. This is where we are now, okay? And you're asking, can the pound New Zealand go any higher? Oh my God. Look where it can go. Look where it can go. Okay, it was a long time ago. We're back here on the year 2000. That was 23 years ago, but it has been much higher. And let's just see how many pips that is from the maximum high that it got to where it is now. And guys, that is 15,000 pips. 15,000 pips. Now, nobody in their logical mind would say that it's going to go that high, but you can certainly clearly see that it's been in this low range since 2016. Okay, but then back here in 2015, okay, 2015, which was 8 years ago, it was up here. And how many pips is that? Okay, let's just say go to the next sort of main level where it peaked out, and that is 3,600 pips. 3,600 pips. Just to go to the next resistance level is 3,600 pips. You see, we're already where we were 3 years ago, and it looks like it's just gonna skyrocket out of that. The way it's looking. Of course, we don't know, but we just that's why we analyze things, right? Okay, so we have the potential. What I'm saying here, and let me summarize, is the potential is for the pound New Zealand to continue to go a lot higher. All right, so let's go back and look at go back to the day chart, and then let's look at what this thing is paired with, okay? And that's just an insane looking day chart, just whoom. Okay, let's go back and let's look at the New Zealand US, because this is paired with the pound New Zealand, right? I mean, the pound New Zealand is paired with the New Zealand, right? So we just looked at the pound New Zealand. Now let's look at the New Zealand US and see what that's doing. Well, the New Zealand, obviously, okay, you're getting the inverse reaction, the inverse chart here, the actual opposite of what we just looked at on the pound New Zealand. And so we come down here. Let me just put a line across that chart at the bottom there. And let's see, can we go any lower than that? It's at 59. That means for 59 cents US, you can buy $1 New Zealand dollar. Good time for the Americans to fly to New Zealand, very cheap. So let's go back to the monthly chart and let's see how low we can go. This is the line that I just put here, okay? So yes, we are at a support level from March of 20. March of 20, that's a support level. It did break down below that in September of last year. September of last year, it got down to 55, 0.55. All right, now it's at 0.59. So we can still go a lot lower just to get to that level where we were in September. And that is about 350 pips. Okay, for the New Zealand US to go down. But you know, can this go much lower? Well, we're on the monthly chart. Let's go back. Oh my goodness. Look at this. This is back in, okay, it was a long time ago. It was 23 years ago. But it was at 39 cents. For 39 cents, you could buy $1 New Zealand dollar. Okay, yeah, 23 years ago, back in the year 2000. But you see, this can come further down. And it was back here also, very low in 2009. And then this one is 2020. This is only 3 years ago. Okay, so anything can happen. You know, the potential for further drops on the New Zealand or further rises on the pound is all very, very possible. So we've looked at the New Zealand US. Now let's look at the pound US. And let's see what we've got on the monthly chart there. Getting a big move up. Okay, this is the pound against the US dollar. The pound against the US dollar. And the US dollar has been gaining strength. The US dollar is getting stronger. Everybody knows that. If you're a Forex trader, you know that. Let's look at the DXY just briefly. Okay, we've been seeing some sideways movement here. But if you go back to the daily chart, and you see this is the DXY. The US dollar continues to get strong. And I'll go back to the monthly chart and we'll see how high can the US dollar go. Well, up here it was at 115. That was just September last year. So the US dollar is gaining strength. It has room to go back to where it was last September. And if you really zoom in, it has been at 164. Okay, that was like, in 1985. That was 38 years ago. It was not likely to go that high. But we certainly have room for continuing strengthening of the US dollar. So the odd thing is that the pound US is gaining strength, is moving up. You see it on the monthly chart against the US dollar and the US dollar. So they are going in tandem, which shows that the pound has a lot of strength. Let me go back to the daily chart. So, okay, yeah, it's come down. This is the daily on the pound US. So we saw 3 good days. All right. And one day is doing the retracement there. Okay, nothing unusual there. But you see where back here we were in 13th of July of this year, very, very high. So this is just a correction against the strengthening US dollar. But the pound has been very, very strong for some unknown reason. The economy we know in the UK is not very, very good. Let me go back and check any comments. Still no comments. Okay. Maybe nobody can hear me. So the pound is looking good. It can come back up here to this resistance level. This is the daily chart and where we were. And it's been on a big move. Okay, you get the corrections. Yeah, you get the corrections. You get the corrections. But this is very likely to very soon start moving back up this way and come back up to that level of 131.42, 1.3142. So with the pound being on an up move, New Zealand being on a down move, that would tell me that the pound New Zealand has a lot of room to move up. Okay. Now let's look at the stochastic, which is today on 96.5. 96.5. That's really high. Just yesterday it was on 98.8. 98.8. So we got this correction today. Okay, it fell back a little bit. The stochastic has come down a little bit to 96.6. We might get a little bit more of a correction, a little bit more of a retracement before it takes off again. So now, in summary, the big question is, I think we can gather from this that we can go long on the pound New Zealand. All right, we can go long on the pound New Zealand. But 2 points. One, what size trade do you take? And number two, where do we make the entry? Okay. Well, what size trade you take depends on your own risk management. But I highly recommend if you're going to take a trade on this, that you trade small. All right. Let's say if you traded small back here, you can always add to a winning trade. Let's say you trade 0.02 and it moves up 50 pips and it's still bullish. Take another 0.02 and continue to add to a winning trade. And you can do that safely 3 or 4 times because you're always moving your stop loss up above your previous entry. All right, so it's quite easy to add to a winning trade, especially on something like this that is making such big moves. All right, so the question is, where do you enter? Well, let's go back. You know, to find your entry point, you have to go back to a shorter time frame, and usually the 15-minute or the 30-minute is a good place to go. But here on the 1 hour chart, it's quite easy to see where is a good place to take an entry. Like this bullish run started way back here, okay, right here on the 23rd of August on the hourly chart, okay, on the hourly chart. Is that right? No, sorry, 10th of August, 10th of August, 2023. So that was 7 days ago on the hourly chart, and you missed this. All right. So where do you get in on this big bullish move? Well, you wait till there's a correction, and you could have got in right here. Boom. You could have got in right here. Boom. Yeah, you've missed all this, but you still remember the potential you have for another 3,000, 4,000, 6,000 pips. So if you want to get in with a small trade, just wait for the correction. So what I'm seeing here is that we should have done that today. All right, this is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours ago. That was at noon in Thailand, or Vietnam, or Laos, or Cambodia, at noon in Asia, when it made this big drop down. That was a perfect time to go long with a small trade on the pound New Zealand, and you'd be already in profit. In fact, you would have made, if you got in right there when it turned around, you would have already made 40 pips. And that would be good for the weekend. And then maybe on Monday, as it continues up, you look to make another small trade. All right, let it move up about 50 pips and then take another small trade. And then all you do is you move your stop loss, which would have been here, move your stop loss, or your stop loss would have been here, move it above, break even, or even a little bit more, and take, so that if it does come back and turn down, then you still get out with a little bit of profit, or certainly you protect yourself from losing anything on the trade. And we see the stochastic on the hourly is at 41. So it's likely to continue up today in the US session. All right. Okay, that's my analysis on the pound New Zealand. I know it was a little bit long, but the pound New Zealand has really confounded me the last several weeks. I was really hesitant to take a trade on it because it was already so high, the price, where it hadn't been for 3 years, but it looks like it has the potential to make even higher prices. And so I'm looking to try and get the opportunity when something is bullish, look for an entry, look for an opportunity to go long. And you don't want to chase the candles. All right, you wouldn't buy right up here at the top like yesterday or early this morning. Wait for that correction. There will always be a correction. Always be a correction. All right. When it gets overbought, then they will start selling. It gets overbought, then they start selling. It gets overbought, then they start selling. Always wait for that correction and get in at a better price. That's where the pending orders come in. All right, and you can use your moving averages to try and determine where to get in. Let's look on the daily chart just before I finish off here. And I don't know if this is going to come down to the trend line is usually a line of support, but it looks like this is so far away. Unbelievable. And now we're looking at the 50, the 100, the 200, and 300-day moving averages, and it has just left them all in the dust. 300, 200, 150, 20, 10, and it's only on the 3. It has left all of the moving averages in the dust and just taken off like a ballistic missile. Pretty crazy. And things can do that, guys. Things can do that. I have seen currency pairs do this and never look back. 2 years ago, we had the JPY went sank like a sinking ship, and the CAD JPY, odd JPY, Swiss JPY, they all went up just like this, and they never came back down. So we could be seeing the same, potentially the same thing here. No guarantees. There's never guarantees in Forex, right? Okay. Well, no comments at all, and I've been talking for, where's my clock? I don't know how long I've been. Oh, I started at 7:30. Wow, 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Okay. So let me just go back to my other screen here. And thank you all of you guys for being here. I appreciate it. And thank you for tuning in to my live streaming on my YouTube channel. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I do appreciate that. I need 22 more subscribers to get to 1,000. I mean, 1,000 is not a big deal. You know, some people have 1,000,000 subscribers, but it will be great. You know, it's an achievement for me if I get to 1,000. I need 28 more subscribers. So please subscribe to the YouTube channel. I just want to hit that magic number. All right. And don't forget to scan the QR code and you can join my Line official group and get my weekly analysis. And that's it for me. Okay. Any questions or comments, leave them below the video. I will get back to you. And I hope you have a great weekend, a good session of trading in today's U.S. session, which just started 1 hour ago. And I hope you have a good weekend. And I will see you again in the next video. Rick Ray signing off. Bye-bye.